Hey everybody, this is Brian from pnbhomesteading.com here in the little urban orchard garden homestead we've got going. And today I'm going to go through how I'm harvesting out my worm castings from my worm compost bin that I've got running underneath here, and I'm making my little homemade foam cozy I use to keep these worms at their optimal temperatures, right in between 60 and 80 degrees. I like to keep them in there because that way they get the best amount of compost breakdown and worm casting generation. So I've got my little bucket here that I'm going to use to scoop out the trays. So let me go ahead and I'll just kind of walk you through what I do when I harvest out the worm castings. Take this off. And we got a couple of our little composter here that's got some more kitchen scraps in it. Got an extra bag here. So, and then also we've had some pretty cold weather. It's been getting cold down, and I noticed that the temperature in my my little tent here that I've got going for my worms was getting down below 60 degrees, so I had to plug in my little automatic timer to turn on the temperature, heat map that I've got. I've got a heat map for plant seedlings stuck inside of this, so that way it keeps them warm when it gets really cold out down at night. So I have it set to come on around 7 or 8 o'clock, and it stays on and it heats this up and it keeps it right around 70 degrees overnight. So then, around 5 a.m. it turns back off, so that way when the sun comes out, when we do get sun in our liquid sunshine state here of Oregon, we sometimes do get sun. So that way it doesn't overheat these guys, and I've got it positioned to where we only get morning sun on here. It's getting warmed up, and then the afternoon high heat sun won't hit these guys up here on our lower deck. So anyway, let's get back to doing this, cleaning out the trays and getting that ready. Take this off. Hook got a little bungee cord here, it holds on the heat mat. There's one of my little buddies there. Get up there. Little black soldier fly there. I let them, they kind of breed in here and they break down that compost even quicker. So they eat it up. Let them hang around. Since they don't have a mouth, they aren't going to bite you, they aren't going to sting you because they don't got stingers. They basically lay their eggs, they eat, they breed, and then they die. I mean, if you've got chickens, setting up one of these with, compost and getting in putting a little ramp in there. They have little special black soldier fly composters. And man, you want to have something that's going to be healthy for your chickens. If we ever had chickens here on our little urban homestead, once our large brood of dogs is, no more, then we're going to have chickens here, and we're going to actually set something up and buy one of those special black soldier fly composters, so that way we can have the healthy droppings of these. When they crawl out, they crawl up a ramp, and they, they're good, healthy protein for your livestock. Okay, I get sidetracked sometimes, so bear with me. So what you do is you'll take this lid on this model here. This is the Worm Factory 360. So these guys will flip them over there. Put that there. And you take off the trays you're not going to be harvesting from. So I'm going to tell you, I'm going to leave. I got these 4 trays are going to stay, and these 2 bottom trays are the ones I'm going to take the castings from. And you can tell when they're pretty much empty. They compact down all the way to where these little nubs are sitting on here. And so these have been here for a couple months. So they're ready to be taken out. And there's going to be some worms left in here, but I take those worms, and then these are going to be castings I'm getting from today are going to be for my spring tomato plants that I'm going to be putting out tomorrow. Paula and I on Mother's Day, she's going to be planting her annual plants, and I'm going to be planting in our vegetable harvest plants. So I take a little scoop of this along with my other amendments like my mycorrhizal fungi, my bone. Geez, I forgot what I was going to say. Bone, blood and bone mix, and then with my mycorrhizal fungi, and then I also put a pinch of something else in there, some magic. I'll eventually remember. But you know what? I don't edit my videos, and I go where I vibe, so you guys are going to see all the mistakes I make in here and talking. That's what makes this fun for me. Okay. Pull these off. Got to loosen them up because they get packed down there pretty good. Let's see. We got the hangers. You can see some of the worms there. Those guys there. You can see it's basically, it looks like the consistency of coffee grounds. And I got myself a little 3-prong, trowel I use to scrape these out. What I do is I just kind of take my bucket, pick this up. You see there's a bunch of little red wigglers in there. Also got some night crawlers, different type. They're like a European night crawler they were called when I bought them. And they basically do the deep level composting. So let's kind of turn this to you. One thing you'll notice is that these eggshells in here don't break down, which is fine with me. But basically, you're not going to get worms eating eggshells because they're so hard from the calcium in there. So you just kind of scrape this out. You can see this all used to be kitchen compost. It's now this nice, loamy looking worm casting. So, I don't always scrape this completely clean. I'll leave a lot of the edge where the worms are at for the next set. That way I've got worms right in there for that next batch. Pick it up. Okay. You got a good set of, there's some worms still left in here. So that's going to be the next batch. It's going to sit right on top of this. I'll fill that tray up today with what I've got here in these 2 bags. There's 2 bags in this side of this composter bin here. And then there's another bag there I'm going to put in the next level. So I'm going to fill this one completely with my scraps and my paper that I keep here. So that's 1 bag there, level there. This one. Back in there. Right. You guys, a new home in the garden box. That's the other thing that doesn't break down is seeds. Like you can see in here. Got a bunch of seeds. Now if you put those in and you don't mix them deep enough, you're going to see all kinds of sprouts, whatever you composted in here. So if you had cucumbers, so I've taken some of this stuff and I use it in my grow tent in the indoor grow tent that I have under the house. And I've got cucumbers that have come up. I've got tomato plants, all kinds of things. So if you don't want that kind of stuff, you probably shouldn't use this in an environment where you're going to want to have just one thing coming up. But I figure what the heck, I'll let it all grow. Look at that, made a mess. Damn. Gardening should just be so clean. I don't know, some people get grossed out by this stuff. I love touching this stuff. All I know is this stuff, it kicks butt when you put it in with your tomato plants. You'll have the greenest plants you've ever seen. My little buddies. There we go. There. I don't want to waste you. Okay, so there you go. You got your kitchen scraps there have all been broken down. You got your eggshells. And, when I plant, crush these up a little bit. Put that around your tomato plants. Get yourself a nice calcium there. That way you don't have to go get your CalMag, spraying your plants. It'll automatically get, broken down and sucked up into your plants. So, makes for a nice, healthy mix. I'll be using this tomorrow. So let's go ahead and get on to the work of putting the trays back. Rub. There we go. Now, paper already on top of there, so I don't need to put more paper. I've got a layer of paper in the box below. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to put some food in for the worms. These are biodegradable bags. I don't leave them in here because it takes them too long to break down, but I figure if I'm putting these in the landfill, they're going to break down in the landfill. They're not going to have a lot of bio waste junk you're going to have with all the, like if you use Target bags or Walmart bag, plastic bag, unless it's one of those kinds that can break down, which I doubt. I'm going to spread this around. And here's a couple of Paula's scobies from our kombucha making. Actually, Paula's kombucha making. I'd probably have something turned out like vinegar if I did it. Oh, look at that. Coffee grounds, everything. And we've got our junk mail here. You know, free credit applications. Instead of going into debt, I'm making soil. There you go. Let's see. There's parts of our old, toilet paper tubes in here, all shredded up. I use our paper shredder for this. Makes a nice way to break it down into nice manageable chunks instead of having to shred this up yourself. You can pick up an old paper shredder off Craigslist. That's what we did. And that way I just run everything through it and it breaks it down in nice chunks like that. So that way you got a nice even distribution of your brown inside of here. Okay, got that all set up. Get up there. I'll grab the next bag. Some people like to mix it all up, get it all in there like that. Me, I'd figure, you know what? I put it in here. The worms figure it out for themselves. They pull down what they want. We got little chunks of moldy bread here. Ooh, that's some good eating there. That's already a green, I guess you could say. Like I said in our last worm video, some people get grossed out by seeing me touch all this stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh, look at all those germs he's putting on him. Oh man. That's why they make soap. You just go wash your hands and you're done. There we go. Okay. That. Look at that. Scoop that around. Keep your sleeves up, you're going to end up with a food slime on you. Alright, put some there. Some people like to stack these trays up pretty high with stuff inside. I like to keep it down about, halfway, so that way it gives a chance for it to break down a lot quicker. As they say, it's going to take, 30 to 60 days, sometimes even 90 days for these to break down per level. And I want to rotate this stuff way faster than that. So I want to get it breaking down a lot faster. So I put thinner loads in each layer with a lot more brown in it. So that way I can harvest this, every couple of weeks. Every 2 weeks, I'm coming out to 3 weeks and taking a tray out and putting it in my gardens. That way I'm getting that benefit during my growing season. I'm not having to, because what are you gonna do when it gets to be fall? You got a big load of worm compost you're gonna be stacking up somewhere. I mean, and even in the wintertime, I take this and I go and dig a hole and I bury it in my garden boxes. So that way it gets them down inside there below the cold weather. They can do a little work and then they can go dormant and they can dig deeper, do whatever they need to do. Alright, well that's kind of that tray. Get the next one up here. Just sit that right in there. Let's see. You see how there's a gap there now? By the time this is all done, being eaten down, it's going to look like this gap here. See, there's a gap. This one here's a little bit closer. This one here's further. So that way when when your trays are ready to be harvested, this thing is going to be resting on top of that tray. This one down here is about ready to go too. But I like to leave at least one deep tray full of compost That way the worms can use that for their, you know, going and getting moisture if they need to. Because these deeper trays are going to hold a lot more moisture. So that way the worms can work their way up and down through these trays when they need something. If they need more moisture, they go down here. If they want more food, they go up here. So they're working their way up through continuously. And you're getting a nice breakdown and even distribution of your worm composting. So, and this here is your worm chelate. I take this and dump it into, like, you know, my lemon tree over there and that kind of things. Some people say you're not supposed to use that because it's like, oh, it could have, you know, residues and things in it that could be toxic because it's water draining down through and it's not produced by, you know, it's not getting filtered. If you want to use it, use it. If you don't want to use it, don't put it over the side, your deck, or wherever you're doing this. Don't worry about it. All right. Last bag. Some people will sit there and they'll pontificate. Oh, you got to do everything just so right, and you got to do everything perfect. Don't let that stop you from doing good. I mean, I'm keeping this stuff from going to landfills or wherever, you know. And you know, some places like where we live here in the Pacific Northwest, you got these little compost bins that are put out by the city or the county. They take that, they do exactly what I'm doing. They make their compost out of it. They stir it, they burn it, you know, and then they're heated up areas, you know, and they sell it back to you. I'm just eliminating the middleman. I'm going from my dinner plate to my garden and back again. It's a cycle. More brown. And then I normally put, you know, my azomite rock dust in here with it, but I noticed I started doing the video, my container's empty, so I got to go down into the house and fill this container back up. Now I'll sprinkle some more azomite rock dust. I'll lift this tray out and I'll put some on top there, and I'll put some more in here when I'm done. But I didn't want to, you know, stop the video to run down there and go fill up my rock dust container. I like to add those minerals because that helps give minerals to the worms. They process those and they excrete them out as part of their waste that you're collecting here, and that gets distributed and put right into your plants that you're going to use this on. Okay, looks like we're all done there. I'll have to, you know, rinse off the deck here a little bit or sweep it off. That way Paula doesn't come out here and scream at me because she just cleaned the decks last weekend. All right. That looks like it's going to be it. You got to put the lid back on and put the, you know, the cozy back on, strap on the heat mat, and we're pretty much done. All right, I'll talk to you guys next week. This is Brian from pnbhomesteading.com. All right, have a good weekend, everybody.